Thanks very much, President. My adjournment debate is for the Minister for Transport, Infrastructure and the other place. And then the action that I'm seeking is for the Minister to speak to the Treasurer to advocate for regional rail investments, including the business case for the Murray Basin Rail Project's full standardisation. As part of the Minister's response, I'd be very keen to find out what the outcomes were from the Minister and her federal counterpart, Barnaby Joyce, when they met in February about future rail investment. Many stakeholders I've spoken to are at a loss to know what is stopping the Andrews Labor government from properly investing in the Murray Basin Rail Project, especially its full standardisation. The wants, needs and perceptions of my region stand in contrast with the recent media release by the government on Tuesday last week, which said the Murray Basin Rail Project was, and I quote, on track and ahead of schedule, unquote. This is just simply not true. It is 4 years after it was promised to be completed and counting. The government release further stated, and I quote, works will enable 49 train paths on the Murray Basin network, up from the current 28 paths, and it is estimated to remove around 20,000 truck trips off the road, unquote. If the government is spruiking the benefits of this stage of the works, why have they not explored the potential benefits to complete the Murray Basin Rail Project? To the issue of being behind schedule, the Victorian Auditor-General's report in 2020 found that the MBRP is, and I quote, 3 years behind schedule, with 87% of funds exhausted without a completion date in sight, unquote. And it further stated that the MBRP has not met scope, time, cost or quality expectations, unquote. This obviously is starkly opposite to the government's claims last week. The Rail Freight Alliance, the Victorian Farmers Federation, plenty of councils in my electorate and any others are devastated by the way the MBRP has been handled, but there is still time to get it right. I read with huge excitement that Portland to Maroona will receive $2.2 million from the federal budget to investigate the cost of upgrading the Portland line to 23-tonne axle load. Dan Tehan, the local MP for Wannon, said, and I quote, that the business case will determine the full extent of the level of upgrade needed, including scope, benefits and beneficiaries, and it will be completed in 18 weeks, unquote. It's great that the federal government have recognised the genuine potential benefits of the project, but wouldn't it be great if the state and federal governments to work collaboratively on regional rail in the future? What are we waiting for? Darren Hedges' Justice Party wasn't set up to lobby for regional rail. We're a party concerned with the legal system, victim survivors and a public register for child sex offenders. But having seen the clear injustices in investment in metropolitan projects versus the poor cousin in the southwest of the state, I have no choice but to keep bringing this up. I know it has a long history of neglect and politics, but we need to take the politics out of the Murray Basin Rail Project and properly jointly fund it by the state and federal governments. So again, to reiterate, the action that I seek is for the Minister to speak to the State Treasurer and advocate for the $5 million for the business case for full standardisation of the MBRP.